It always really confused me how guitarists would make complex sounds and ideas on their instrument. I was always stuck. I was just playing the pentatonic all the time. I felt like my playing sounded so boring and uninspiring. I don't know what it was that I needed to learn in order to improve and advance my playing. Well, by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the concept that revolutionized my playing. It's a night and day difference between learning this concept and who I was before I understood this. I help intermediates become advanced. Just to give you a bit of hope, this is how I used to sound. This is me when I had that uninspiring playing. All I knew was the pentatonic scale, and frankly, every time I played the guitar, it kind of sounded the same, and it would bore me, right? And then I managed to advance my playing with this concept that I'm going to teach you today. I learned how to improvise. I learned how to create my own ideas and play with my own unique style that you can hear in this clip over here. So I've been in your shoes before. I know how to get out of them. Trust me, I know what it's like being stuck in that awkward intermediate stage. This is how I got good at guitar. My name is Fabian Dolan. I've had 10 years of experience on the guitar, 10,000 hours played, and many students taught in the past, hopefully one more today. I appreciate you for watching. If you want to join a community of like-minded guitarists and tune in for some free live lessons that I'm doing over on Discord, check out the link in the description. We've got a growing community. And also you can message me on Instagram as well if you like. So this video is not about music theory, okay? But learning this scale shape system is going to make music theory easy to understand in the future. Right? So if you are currently confused by music theory, you don't know how to apply it to the instrument, this is where you want to start. But we're not going to cover any theory today. It's all scale shapes on this instrument. This scale shape, it gives you a place to physically apply the abstract concepts of theory, right? Because learning theory is kind of more about like how you think about where you put the notes on the guitar, rather than like actually how to physically play the instrument. So we need to be able to have a shape to apply music theory first before we can actually learn theory. So this is what this scale shape is going to do for you. The framework that I'm showing you today essentially allows you to see the guitar much like a piano player sees the keyboard, right? So when a piano player sees the keyboard, they see all these white notes here, and they know that these white notes are the major scale, or the C major scale. And a pianist knows that if I just play the white notes, I know I'm going to play in key all the time. I can't play a bad note if I just play the white notes. We're essentially going to do the same thing on the guitar. We're going to find a scale shape that allows us to play all the good notes and never hit a wrong note. But the beauty of this scale shape is that it's transposable. So you only have to learn this one scale shape, and you can learn how to play in every single key without having to hit a bad note, without having to make any mistakes, essentially. So what we're going to do is learning to play diatonically. That's what that means, playing within a scale, making sure that we only hit the scale notes. And we're not going to learn any confusing theory. That's a lesson for another day, right? There's no kind of like note-taking that you need. It's just scale shapes that we're going to go over today. But by learning this and actually getting it under your fingers and integrating it into your playing, it's going to give you a solid foundation to build upon so that you can learn all this information in the future. And that's what it did for me. That's how it revolutionized my playing. So I think this is the most important thing to learn on the guitar. It's more important than learning the pentatonic scale. So when we play this scale shape across the neck, so from like fret to fret, from all the way down, all the way up to the very top of the guitar neck, we're going to be able to play without ever hitting a bad note in the key. And again, this system has had the biggest impact on my playing. And the system is called the 3-note per string major scale. And this system applies to any genre. If you want to learn jazz music, rock music, blues, metal music, you can apply this and use it to advance your playing and sound more interesting. Without this, I wouldn't be able to understand ideas like modal harmony and modal interchange. I used to be like really embarrassed in my guitar playing because I would just play the pentatonic scale the whole time. And again, I would be really bored when I play a solo in a band because I was essentially doing the same thing every single time. And I didn't know how to make my playing musical to the context of the actual song that I was playing with. I was just kind of imposing the little knowledge that I knew. But learning this system gave me a framework to build and expand upon and create new, unique sounding music that actually fitted the context that I was playing behind. So we're going to learn to play the scale shapes today and how to transpose them. So grab your guitar and listen up. You're going to be practicing this alongside me. So there are 7 shapes we need to learn. So let's look at the fretboard and see what we have to do. So now that you've got your guitar in your hand, we're going to go over the very first shape that we're going to learn today. So this is shape 1 of 7 of the G major scale. And we're going to be doing a system called 3 note per string. And if you can guess what that means we're going to be playing 3 notes on each string. Wow. You're very intelligent if you guessed that. Alright, so we're going to start on the 3rd fret, and then we're going to play this line on the E string. So it's 3, 5, 7 on the E string. So it's going to look like this on the guitar. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the A string. So if we put those two together, it sounds like this. And then the next string on the D string is 4, 5, 7. And the G string is the same. So all of those 4 strings together so far. Now if we add the B and the E string, we go to 5, 7, 8. And 5, 7, 8 again. So if we play the whole scale using the 3 note per string system, on this first shape we have and already just by learning this, we have a shape that we can use over a G major chord. So if I play G major here, we can already use this to make music. Again, I believe that is a kind of a bit of a boring sound, but we already have an application to play this first shape. Right? We've already got music within just one shape. And again, we have another 6 to learn after this, right? So this is the next shape. Every shape starts where the 2nd note left off. So this one starts on the 5th fret of the E string, whereas the first one started on the 3rd one. Right, so we have 5, 7, 8. And then 5, 7, 9 on the A string. 5, 7, 9 again on the D string. 5, 7, 9 again on the G. Then it changes a bit to 7, 8, 10 on the B string and 7, 8, 10 again on the E string. What I like about this shape is that it fits very nicely over this A minor pentatonic. And if I slide up, so this shape here sounds really good over the A minor chord. So imagine if we had a chord progression of G major to A minor. If we run through those 2 shapes already, we have something to play over the top of them. So we have again, it's not like the most groundbreaking piece of music, but what we're looking for at the moment is just ways to apply it. We don't have to write a musical masterpiece when we're first learning something, but we need to find a way to apply it first. So, with G major, these scale shapes we can use over that chord. And that scale shape also works over A minor. Right? So make sure we get these first 2 shapes down and practice switching between them. So we're going up on the first shape, And then we're sliding into the second shape and going back down. And then resolving it back to the first one. So make sure you practice these first two shapes first. Trust me, this is going to do wonders for your playing once you're able to get these under your fingers, right? So once we do that, we can go on to shape 3. So this starts on the 7th fret of the E string. We go 7, 8, 10. Then 7, 9, 10 of the A string. 7, 9, 10 of the D. 7, 9, 11 on the G. Sorry, let me move my camera a bit for you so you can see this a bit easier. Then 8, 10, 12 on the B. And 8, 10, 12 on the high E. So all together we have and then this shape is going to work over this B minor chord. So what we want to practice doing is every time we learn a new shape, so we should have learned shape 1, shape 2, and now we're on shape 3, we want to connect all of them together. So if we start on shape 1, we can go up, right? See how much like space I covered on the fretboard there? Like by learning these scale shapes, you learn how to play music everywhere. And once you can connect them all together, it completely unlocks the fretboard for you. Right? So again, this is what revolutionized my playing. And it took me beyond the pentatonic scale. So again, if you made it this far into the video, well done. You're definitely going to be a guitarist that learns and improves. Make sure that you're practicing these scale shapes, you get them all under your fingers, and you can just run through and connect all of them seamlessly. You want to be able to do this first. Once you learn that, there's going to be so much you can apply on top of that. There's so much more extra information, and it's going to skyrocket your playing. So again, stay tuned. It's going to work wonders for your playing. So once we've got shape 3 down under our fingers, we have shape 4 here. So this starts on the 8th fret of the E string. Right? So we go 8, 10, 12. And then we go 9, 10, 12. And then 9, 10, 12 on the D string. Then 9, 11, 12 on the G. Then 10, 12, 13 on the B. And then 10, 12, 14 on the E. So all of that together should sound like this. And then this shape, it works really nicely over a C major chord. Right? And again, we can connect it all the way between the shapes that we learned lower down before, right? So we have again, we just want to be able to randomly flow between the shapes at the moment. And once we can we have fluidity between getting through all of them, then that's where we start unlocking the ability to make music and improvise our own ideas on the top of that. So we've got shape 4 here. We have 4 shapes so far already. Now 5th shape, we start on the 10th fret of the E string. We go 10, 12, 14. And then the same again on the A string. Same again on the D string. And on the G string it goes 11, 12, 14. The B string is 12, 13, 15. And the high E string is 12, 14, 15. So all together we have and that shape works really nicely over this D major chord. Again, you can just kind of mess around with any of the order of the notes. Again, listen to how wildly different that sounds from the pentatonic scale. Again, you might not like that sound, like not everyone likes every single sound on the instrument, but there is a good majority of you that are looking for something new on the instrument, looking for a different sound, and this is what's going to unlock it for you. It's this scale right here. So we have shape 5. We'll go over that again quickly. So that's 10, 12, 14 on the E and the A string and the D string. Then 11, 12, 14 on the G string. 12, 13, 15 on the B string. 12, 14, 15 on the high E string. Now we have shape 6. So this starts on the 12th fret of the low E string. So it's 12, 14, 15. Then same again on the A string. Then it's 12, 14, 16 on the D string. Same again on the G string. Then we move to the 13th fret of the B string to 15, 17. Sorry, I just realised that wasn't at all in my shot on the camera. And then it's 14, 15, 17 on the high E string. So we have... So to run through all of that again. And this shape here works really nicely over an E minor chord. Again, I'm just noodling over the top, not groundbreaking pieces of music that I'm coming up with on the spot, but you get the point. Is that you can use these shapes over these chords to create interesting sounds. And this is how you break free from the boring monotony of the pentatonic scale. So, now that we've got shape 6 down, we go to shape 7. This starts on the 14th fret. We go 14, 15, 17. Same on the A string. Then it's 14, 16, 17 on the D and the G string. And then it's 15, 17, 19 on the B and the E string. So all together. I'll play that one more time for you. And then if we go up again, it's the same shape as shape 1, but up an octave. So this repeats itself over and over, and you can play it all the way up and down the fretboard by using this system. So if I start from the... I'll tell you what, I'm going to start from the first shape, and I'm going to make my way all the way up to the fretboard again, just by like messing around and improvising using this 3-note per string major scale. So we start here on G. Again, I'm not like creating the best pieces of music right on the spot. It's not groundbreaking or anything. It's not going to change the world what I just played. But it's the idea that I'm trying to get across to you here is that there is a way to completely unlock the fretboard and play diatonically in any key and just make your way all the way across the fretboard. It's actually very easy. It's going to make the guitar so much less confusing when we do this. So, rewind this video, go back to the shapes, make sure you learn them. It's not going to be easy to get all 7 down in one sitting. You might have to learn 2 or 3 shapes a day, and then over the course of a week you can kind of connect them all together. But this is something that's going to completely transform your playing if you work on doing this, right? I'm going to show you the benefits of learning this as well. So, when someone asks you to play in G major, you have all the notes in that key across the fretboard, right? So we've just learned the 3-note per string major scale in G major. But what if someone asks you to play this in a different key? Well, lucky for us, if we learnt the scale shapes, we don't have to play any different shapes for any other key. We just have to play the same scales again, but just start them in a different place. So, for example, what we have to do is we have to find the root note that we start from on the low E string in that key, right? So we started, the very first position was in G major. So that's why we started on the 3rd fret. Right, because this note here on the 3rd fret of the E string is G. So we play our first shape here. In G major. Well, what if someone asked us to play in the key of D? Well, we find the D note on the low E string, which is going to be on the 10th fret. And we play that exact same shape again, shape 1 that we learned in a couple slides earlier. We play that same from this position over here. And now we know how to play in D major. If we learn how to play the shapes beyond that, we learn how to connect shape 1 to shape 2, shape 2 to shape 3, shape 3 to shape 4, and so on and so on. We can learn how to play that in D major. So we have... Right, you get the point. You can kind of go all the way up and down the fretboard. I can even go lower, so... Again, like, you kind of get the idea here. It's a way to connect all the notes of the fretboard together all across the fretboard. So you can go from low to high. And again, it's going to make the guitar so much less confusing for you, right? So yeah, we play this shape 1 in D as we've gone over here. It's the same exact distance between your hands as G major. It's just where we apply the root note changes, and that's going to determine what key we're playing in. The same shapes apply across every single key. The only difference is the notes which you choose to start from. It's the root note which decides the scale. It decides the key of the scale. So with just 7 scale shapes, you can play in every single key, all 12 keys of music. You've got everything mastered once you learn these 7 scale shapes, and you can add more advanced harmony and theory on the top of this once you learn this, right? This completely unlocked my playing, right? If you want to watch more videos, again, there'll be an option to click here. And if you still suck after this lesson, don't struggle alone. Book a call with me. Check the link in the description. I'm going to be teaching students how to become advanced. And again, I'm not stopping till you become advanced. Thank you very much for watching. Respect for making it to the end. You've got a good attention span if you made it this far, and subscribe for more high quality guides. I appreciate it.